is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path.
First reading. A reading from the book of Genesis, chapter 21, verses 5 and 8 to 20. Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born to him. Isaac grew, and on the day of the child's weaning, Abraham held a great feast. Sarah noticed the son whom Hagar the Egyptian had borne to Abraham, playing with her son Isaac. So she demanded of Abraham, "Drive out that slave and her son. No son of that slave is going to share the inheritance with my son Isaac." Abraham was greatly distressed, especially on account of his son Ishmael. But God said to Abraham, "Do not be distressed about the boy or about your slave woman. Heed the demands of Sarah, no matter what she is asking of you. For it is through Isaac that descendants shall bear your name. As for the son of the slave woman, I will make a great nation of him also, since he too is your offspring." Early the next morning, Abraham got some bread and a skin of water and gave them to Hagar. Then, placing the child on her back, he sent her away. As she roamed aimlessly in the wilderness of Beersheba, the water in the skin was used up. So she put the child down under a shrub, and then went and sat down opposite him, about a bow shot away. For she said to herself, "Let me not watch to see the child die." As she sat opposite Ishmael, he began to cry. God heard the boy's cry, and God's messenger called to Hagar from heaven, "What is the matter, Hagar? Don't be afraid. God has heard the boy's cry in this plight of his. Arise, lift up the boy, and hold him by the hand, for I will make of him a great nation." Then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. She went and filled the skin with water, and then let the boy drink. God was with the boy as he grew up. The word of the Lord.
A reading from the Holy Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 8, verses 28 to 34. When Jesus came to the territory of the gardeners, two demoniacs who were coming from the tombs met him. They were so savage that no one could travel by that road. They cried out, "What have you to do with us, Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the appointed time?" Some distance away, a herd of many swine was feeding. The demons pleaded with him, "If you drive us out, send us into the herd of swine." And he said to them, "Go then." They came out and entered the swine, and the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the sea, where they drowned. The swineherds ran away, and when they came to the town, they reported everything, including what had happened to the demoniac. Thereupon the whole town came out to meet Jesus, and when they saw him, they begged him to leave their district. This is the gospel of the Lord.
My dear brothers and sisters in Christ, my dear children, and my dear young people, today, Wednesday, 5th of July, 2023, we are in the 13th week of the Ordinary Time. The Gospel is from Matthew chapter 8, verses 28 to 34. Here, the Gospel narrates to us the episode of Jesus healing two men possessed by evil spirits. Now, in this encounter with the two men possessed by evil spirits, the evil spirits are able to recognize the presence of Jesus, the inner person of Jesus, Jesus as the Son of God. Sadly, unfortunately, most of us, having now seen the history of our salvation and also the sacramental life that we participate, very often time we are unable still to recognize the true person of Christ in our life. That Jesus is the Redeemer, Jesus is the power, Jesus is God with us, and we are still unable. But whereas the evil power, the devil, is able to recognize Jesus as Jesus is. Now Jesus casts out the evil power because the people of the town, they are scared even to pass by where they live, because they were occupying the burial grounds. Now, in this context, we find now Jesus, having healed them, allowed the evil spirits to go and enter into a herd of pigs. Now, what happens? Now, Jesus allowed still the evil power to be in freedom, in order that the people with faith will be able to conquer the evil power with the power of Christ. Therefore, let us open ourselves to the presence of Christ in our life, the power above all powers of the world, the power that subdues the evil power. With Jesus, we are able to conquer all evil challenges in our life. Therefore, let us trust in Him. Let us place ourselves in His mercy and love.